Hi there, welcome to this. My name is Layla, and today I'm going to be reviewing the book The Witch of Portobello by Paulo Coelho. It's one of my favorite books. Paulo Coelho is become one of my favorite authors. I first read this book when I was in second year in campus, and I recognized the name Paulo Coelho on the shelf, and in the previous year, I read the book called The Alchemist, so it immediately caught my attention, and I decided to take it in the 2 weeks of time that I had of reading. I had so much of assignments, I remember, but I skipped classes just to read the book, just to finish it in those 2 weeks because I was hooked on it. I loved it. I was going through like a sort of spiritual journey too within myself, because this is what the book's like initially about. It poses a lot of life lessons, and it teaches you to embrace life as a woman as you read through the journey of Athena. Athena is the main protagonist, and the book revolves around her journey. Um, well, she calls herself Athena, but her real name is Shireen. The narration technique of this book is superb. Paulo Coelho created the story initially based on people telling you the story of Athena. So through all the people she's met in her journey to become the Witch of Portobello, her story is told through them. And when we first read the book, we learn that she's dead, so that's why her story is being told through other people who she's met. And I think it's just a very nice way of writing that, like structuring your whole narration technique through the people that she's met. It's like a journey. It is one of my favorite novels. So I got this book again. Actually, I saw it when I went to Dubai, to the UAE, and I went to this bookshop and I saw the book and I was like stunned. Not that I couldn't find it anywhere else. It just like was like, oh, I have to have it. I don't know what I'm gonna do on the plane, but yeah, so I got it. I read it again. I made it my own with all the underlining of quotes that I just highlighted so much in this book. Everything like is the whole page. Anyway, so I love this book. One of my favorites, and I plan to do more of literature analysis on these books that I've read. Okay, I'm just gonna like take us through what the book is initially about. And I got this from Wikipedia. As the book begins, Athena is dead. How she ended up that way creates the intrigue sustaining the book. The child, Shireen Khalil, renames herself Athena after her uncle was discussing with her mother on how her real name will betray her origins, and something like Athena gave nothing away. As a child, she always shows a strong religious vocation and reports seeing angels and saints, which both impresses and worries her parents. So she's adopted. She's an adopted child, and you see in her journey she just she gets to meet her real mother, which is good. And she learns on why her mother chose to abandon her. Um, she goes to a London university to pursue engineering at the age of 19, but it's not what her heart wanted. One day she decides that she just wants to drop out of college, get married, and have a baby. Here, the author mentions that this might be due to the fact that she was abandoned herself and wants to give all her love she could to a child which she didn't receive from her birth mother. And 2 years later, her marriage fails and falls apart because they are facing too many problems due to their young age and lack of money, or mostly because he felt that she loved only the child and used him to get what she wanted. So there are like incidents in the book where, as you read through the story of her and the people that she's come across, that most of the time Athena comes off as this very strong character where the people who she met, in one way or another, thinks that they were manipulated by her, that she was only in their life because she wanted something from them. But I don't know what to think about that. I think it's a beautiful book how Paulo Coelho wrote it, and perspective is everything. So she grows into a woman in search of answers to many questions that arise within a person. She had a life which oh, which many felt was content because she had a child of her own, money and friends, everything but her mind was at peace. So she searches for the answer to the classical question of who am I through many experiences. In her quest, she opens her heart to intoxicating powers of mother and becomes a controversial spiritual leader in London. So after her journey, she goes to Portobello, she goes to London. She becomes known as the Witch of Portobello. There, she has these classes where she wants to teach people how to reach within their highest self. And she gets a lot of attention from everyone. She gets good attention and bad attention, and the bad attention mostly stems from those people who says, okay, she's a witch, what she's doing is wrong, it's against Christ and the normalities of religion, like what the church wants. It's not black and white. And what I like about Paulo Coelho is it's my phone. What I like about Paulo Coelho using the name The Witch of Portobello is that he, once you finish the book or you reading it, the connotation of witch always like comes up to be someone who's evil, associated with sacrifices, rituals, bad things, magic, placing curses, all those type of things. But he changes the normal connotation of witch to being a woman who's spiritual, who's becoming, who's embracing herself, who's using the energy around her to channel the highest version of herself. And we see it in the book as we progress through it. It's just beautiful. I'll read a quote, actually, in just any quote I highlighted. Reprogram yourself. Reprogram yourself every minute of each day with thoughts that make you grow. When you're feeling irritated or confused, try to laugh at yourself. and laugh out loud at this woman tormented by doubts and anxieties, convinced that her problems are the most important thing in the world. Laugh at the sheer absurdity of the situation, at the fact that despite being a manifestation of the mother, you still believe God is a man who lays down the rules. Most of our problems stem from just that, from following rules. Concentrate. If you find nothing on which to focus your mind, concentrate on your breathing. The mother's river of light is flowing in through your nose. Listen to your heart beating. Follow the thoughts that you can't control. Your desire to get up at once to do something useful. Sit for a few minutes each day, doing nothing, getting as much as you can out of that time. When you washing up, pray and be thankful that there are plates to be washed. That means that there was food, that you fed someone, that you lavish care on one or more people, that you cooked and laid the table. Imagine the millions of people at this moment who have absolutely nothing to wash up and no one for whom to lay the table. There are women who say, I'm not going to do the washing up. Let the man do it. Fine, let the man do it if they want to, but that has nothing to do with equality. There's nothing wrong with people doing simple things, although if I were to publish an article tomorrow saying everything I think, I'd be accused of working against the feminist cause. Nonsense! As if washing up or wearing a bra or having someone open or close the door could be humiliating to me as a woman. The fact is, I love it. I love it when a man opens a door for me. According to etiquette, this means she needs me to do this because she's fragile, but in my soul is written, I'm being treated like a goddess. I'm a queen. I'm not here to work for the feminist cause because both men and women are a manifestation of the mother, the divine unity. No one can be greater than that. So I love how he also opens up this new or he challenged like all religious perspectives on God. You know, he doesn't solely focus on the masculine, but rather also the divine feminine side of things. And this is what Athena becomes initially. She becomes a manifestation of the divine feminine. And she, oh wow, there's like this phase she goes through. She does dancing, and and it's the most like the most amazing thing I've read with dancing, which is why I started like doing it. But anyway, she does it. So she does dancing and she learns like through dancing to connect with herself. And if I could just find a quote with that part of it. And then she goes back and she teaches people how to connect to themselves through dancing. And it's absolutely beautiful the way that Paulo Coelho wrote this. Oh yeah, I saw something. Do you know what I've learned? That although ecstasy is the ability to stand outside yourself, dance is a way of rising up into space, of discovering new dimensions while still remaining in touch with your body. When you dance, the spiritual world and the real world manage to coexist quite happily. I think classical ballet dancers dance on point because they simultaneously touching the earth and reaching up to the skies. As far as I can remember, those were her last words to me. During any dance to which we surrender with joy, the brain loses its controlling power and the heart takes up the reins of the body. Only at that moment does the vortex appear, as long as we believe it, of course. It's beautiful. Yeah. And what's also like really nice about it is that the journalist wait, Ryan, where he writes it, um, he tries to like piece together her story and her experiences, and she meets him first when in Scotland Yard, and he was young. They were both younger then, and you see like a bit of like romance in the book, where by she tells she tells him that she loves him, and then they meet again like when they're a bit older, and she always tells him that she has a boyfriend and her boyfriend is in Scotland Yard. And he doesn't like, I don't know if he like knows like how Paulo Coelho, does he want us to know that it's him? Because he doesn't really like, he's like, oh, she's talking about this non-existent guy, but initially she's talking about him to him, and it's beautiful. But yeah, like just the way everything ties up at the end is is what makes it a journey, a book well read, and I like it. And it starts off like really powerful as well. The first page says, "No one lights a lamp in order to hide it behind the door. The purpose of light is to create more light, to open people's eyes, to reveal the marvels around. No one sacrifices the most important thing she possesses, love. No one places her dreams in the hands of those who might destroy them. No one, that is, but Athena." And yeah, that is the my literature analysis of the book. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I think if you really want to develop yourself, especially as a woman, or you're just like searching for answers or just looking for something really peaceful to read and just like to connect with yourself, this book is one of the books I'd recommend. And yeah, it's a beautiful book. Actually, like all of Paulo Coelho's books is like so amazing, so amazing. I'm reading the book, well, like the flowing river. It's like comprised of short stories, short moments. I believe in Paulo Coelho's life, and it's just beautiful the way he writes. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed it, and if you want me to do another of any books, actually, just let me know. Yeah, thank you for watching it, and goodbye.